Hi, my name is David Stewart. This is my wife, Katrine. We are in our 40th year of marriage, and I just a year ago retired from life in the Foreign Service. We raised 5 children overseas, including our 5th child, Margaret, who has Down syndrome. Yeah, it was a surprise. It was a big shock for all of us. Down syndrome, none of us really knew much about it. You know, Margaret has a great ability to see what's positive and good. And Margaret is able to connect with people in a way that astounds us. I was in the Foreign Service, as we said, and I was in our embassy in London. It's a big embassy. I was the consul general there, an important job, but I was known as Margaret's dad. Outside, she would say hi to her favorite uniformed security guard. She would then high-five the big Irish guy who ran our food services. She would give a hug to the Filipina cleaning lady who was there. Margaret's birthday party was the most diverse group in the embassy because she had senior officers there and she had all these other people. She was delivering mail in the embassy. One of the senior officers' special assistant really wasn't sure Margaret could be trusted with that, and she was kind of a standoffish, kind of a chilly entrance into the outer office there. But Margaret doesn't sense that. Margaret loves to get mail. So she would come in there and say, "Sorry, no mail today," or "I got mail for you today." And those two connected. And I was waiting by the embassy elevator once, and this woman who I'd never really spoken to says, "Oh, David, Margaret told me about your trip." I said, "David, we're now friends?" And we became friends because Margaret had broken through. And probably the woman was just a little shy, a little nervous. Margaret doesn't sense that. But it's more of a personal empathy. We were in London, and at church, there's an extremely proper British woman, gloves, hat, kind of a kind of regal bearing, but not an over, and just the kind of the British, a little bit kind of distance and so forth. And somehow she and Margaret became friends, and Margaret started giving her hugs. And I don't think this distinguished single woman was getting many hugs. We all need hugs. And then next thing I knew, they were holding hands. She'd take her to church, they'd walk to church holding hands. And again, the Brits don't hold hands. You know, this is not Italy or Spain or something, or Mexico. And then after church, I am certain this woman would never go into that local pub to have the pub lunch. But Margaret had her meal she ordered every Sunday, and they were in the pub. And they were the oddest couple, but they simply just adored each other. And I don't think they had many deep conversations. But again, I don't think, just like the ambassador in Germany, I don't think this British woman had many hugging friends that she could walk down the street with holding hands. And it was great for both of them, that friendship.
She also, when my mother was dying, she was my mother's daily good morning companion. I had come to spend time with her, and but Margaret, I think, was my mother's favorite companion during those last weeks in life, because Margaret didn't pretend anything was better or worse than it was, you know? And in that situation, her presence of unconditional love was all my mother needed.
There's a worldly message that your human value ties in to basically rank, position, wealth, power. Your child is not going to be an ambassador. Your child's not going to be a novelist or a lawyer. Accept that. Because if that is what validates your child, then let's hope your kid makes all A's, doesn't get in trouble like some of our children did, and doesn't let you down, because there's ups and downs even with the regular kids. But those are all the negative messages of what your child isn't going to be. And I think we have to block that out and just look at what your child is. Your child is a unique combination of 2 wonderful parents, and will be the most loving and supporting person in your world.